Hi, in the last session we learned that machine learning have the capability of self-learning based on the labeled data. Means machine learning entity have the input data and also the results of those data. And based on that, machine learning entity creates the pattern and write the logics to achieve those relations. And this model is called trained model, which can be used for real-life application. This is called supervised learning. But till now, we don't know how this trained model gets achieved from the labeled data. There are a variety of methods to train a model inside the machine learning. These methods can be different kind of mathematical or statistical algorithms, which we will discuss later. But for now, when we are talking about the trained model, which is created based on the labeled data, there must be some capacity. Like some models have lower capacity, so we can say small model. Some model can have the medium capacity and some can have the large capacity. Large capacity means more and more data and information. This means more knowledge. You may think now that deep learning belongs to large capacity, but that is not true. In machine learning, this is actually described from the number of layers. A layer is a basic building block of deep learning. Let's understand that at high level first. There are three layers in this picture: left layer, center layer and the right layer. The leftmost layer is called the input layer and the rightmost layer is called output layers. And in the middle, this layer is called the hidden layers. Each layer is responsible for the data transformation. This is called the data transformation phase. And you can have from few layers to many multiple layers, which are interconnected with each other in sequence. This means output of one layer can be the input of another layer. So each layer receives the input and then transform the data by processing the mathematical functions or algorithms and then pass those outputs to the next layer. The next layer will do the same, get the data, process and transform that into the another data and pass it to the output or next layer. And this happens until the data reaches to the final layer, which is our output layer. As I said, we can have one layer or two layer or hundred of layers in machine learning. However, as a machine learning entity or a trained model, we only consider the input layer and the output layer. But between this input layer and output layer, if there are only few layers inside the system, like one layer or two layer, then we call them shallow learning. When there are only few layers inside the machine learning, then it will have relatively lesser number of patterns, means less logic and rules. However, this does not mean that those trained modules are not capable. It completely depends on the requirement for which we are training our module and the use case. The benefit of shallow learning is that this type of learning models are fast because there are lesser number of layers and patterns to develop and may be useful for many of the small use cases too. So I will say this is the simplified and easy approach to cover the small use cases, and the model will be created in lesser time. Now you may already get the idea of deep learning. So in deep learning, there are many hidden layers in between the input layer and output layer. Unlike in shallow learning, there are only few layers. This means deep learning can collect more information and can generate more patterns and logics from the data. This type of system called deep learning, which is based on simple fact that there are many hidden layers inside the trained module. This means depth of the model is considered based on the number of hidden layers inside the ML model. In other words, those hidden layers also called neural networks, which normally relates with the biological term of our human brains. The layers can be possible from few hundreds to thousands. The concept is higher the number of layers means can handle more complex tasks. Deep learning is one of the most exciting field under the machine learning because it can help in handling bigger tasks and can solve big complex use cases with heavy data set and also with the great accuracy. But the downside of deep learning is that because the processing of lot of data, it requires heavy computing power compared to shallow learning, and also this is a time-taking process. There are also many service providers like Amazon and Google who provide heavy computing power for those use cases from their cloud services to train a deep learning model. So now we have the terms AI, artificial intelligence, ML, machine learning, and deep learning. So if we classify them together, this looks like this. Artificial intelligence is like the main technology concept. Inside this AI umbrella, machine learning comes as a subpart which is developed based on the concept that machine can learn from its own. By this self-learning capability, machine can handle complex tasks by their own without human intervention, and deep learning comes inside the machine learning, which allows the capability to learn from the big data set, generate long patterns and deletion, and perform heavy tasks with the great accuracy. So deep learning is the subfield of machine learning, and the job of the data scientist to achieve that by performing the right relevant algorithm and fine-tuning the system development. You may already guess that this is not an easy job to do. In the next session, we will understand applied AI and generalized AI. So stay tuned for the updates. If you did not subscribe till now, then please do subscribe to learn and grow community for regular updates. If this video is informative, then please like this video, comment on video, and don't forget to share. Thank you for watching.